Hi, it's Faye from Faye's Journal Emporium. Welcome back to my channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video. It really means the world to me when people comment on what I've been making. I wanted to share with you a new journal that I've just finished. You know, Halloween, if you've been following me, Halloween's my very favorite holiday. And I was inspired to make this journal from a digital kit that I found made by Miles Beyond the Moon. She has some amazing things. I've done some journals from her things before. The Raven was one that I did last year. Anyway, her theme for this one was called Dark Academia. And it just, my mind just went in all kinds of directions. So what you see here is very eclectic. I've used things other than her digitals. I've used lots of digitals, things from the Graphics Fairy that were just perfect. I have some vintage pages in here. So let's get started. The journal measures 9.5 by 5.5. It has a 1.5 inch spine. It's a soft cover journal made of Tim Holtz fabrics. There are 3 signatures, 172 pages. I've tied it shut with a grosgrain ribbon. I have not used any sari silk or laces or charms in this journal. It's just strictly pretty much bare bones, which is what you think for Halloween. On the cover, there's a Tim Holtz frame. There's a photograph behind it that is from her Dark Academia kit. I've placed a piece of mica over the top, which is what you're seeing shining there. There's a Tim Holtz little spider and an Oddities plaque at the bottom. And if you want to trim that off, you certainly can, and the ribbon also if it's too long. The inside is also Tim Holtz fabric. And as I was going through working with the pages and thinking about, oh, this is just, you know, this is a school for witches and the occult and all kinds of sciences and artists and architects and, you know, language and all of it to teach the occult. And I kept thinking, where could this school be? So I kind of went thinking about the Hogwarts, and the Graphics Fairy came out with a kit called the Scottish Castle, and it was perfect, absolutely perfect. So this is an old haunted Scottish castle. I've used cardstock for the covers of the signatures, and the back of this castle is pictured on the back of that. And then since it was Scottish, what better than plaid for the inside of the journal? So that's where all of that came from. So this is from the Graphics Fairy also, and that Scottish castle. This is a map of Scotland, and this is a picture of another old castle. I think it's Dun Castle, it said on there. Anyway, those are in here, and there's journaling space on the back of those. This is the Discovery of Witches, and these are from her kits. I've used several from Miles Beyond the Moon. And there'd be table tapping and witches, and this is a page from a vintage grammar book. I can't remember the date, but it's before 1900. And then here's a little Tim Holtz. I've used a lot of the Tim Holtz figures. She's got spider wings, and she's sitting on that curve. It's an astrological symbol. And then this is the lady that came in her Scottish outfit. She's the headmistress of the castle, and she runs everything. And she's sweet and wicked. There's journaling space on the back of that. I've used tea-dyed papers. This is one of the song sheets, or music sheets. It's Culinary Poisons. And then I've done a lot of collaging. These are the figures that were with the kit. There's a little owl card and one of the tags that came with it. And this is the second Grand Masquerade Ball, the Night Owl Dancing Club. I thought that was pretty cute. And here's a little kitty, because you've got to have a black cat and crows if you've got witches. There's the back of the kitty, and here's a bat. And the Loch Ness Monster would come in if you're in Scotland. Some people going to a masquerade ball. This is from the Graphics Fairy also. And then this is our first professor. He is the professor of chemistry. And here's his chemical lab book. And here is a photograph. This came with the kit from August 1898. It's a copy, clearly, of some of the professors that are here at this college teaching, at this university. And then here's the flying teacher. She has wings, and she's got the wings that are on these two little Tim Holtz people, and they're taking flying lessons from her. I have left the center cords on here long. I did not attach any charms, but I thought if someone who purchases the journal might like to put beads or charms on it, you can certainly do that. If not, then you can just tie a bow or cut them off, whatever you'd like to do. Lots of journaling space. Some more Owl, the Complete Wizard. He looks like a wizard. Here's a place to put a picture. That's again from the Graphics Fairy. And this is some tea-dyed vellum. And there's a spirit bride. And this is just a bunch of occult symbols. And you can use that as a journaling card. And then here's a little dragon that's attached to it also, right there. And a bat. There's lots of die cuts, Tim Holtz die cuts in here. And again, this is Tim Holtz from Halloween this year. This is an illustration by Rackham, which is Arthur Rackham, who is one of my favorite illustrators from the early 1900s. And then this is the Amber Witch Grand Opera. It just tucks in that belly band. We've got the other side. And then this is another collage I did. This is the guy that's on the front in the picture. And again, there's a place for a photo or whatever you'd like to do. It's the Curve of Divinations that she was sitting on. And again, this is the other side of that English book. And this little gal is so cute. It flips and she comes out, and there's journaling space on the back of that card. And then this is from Tim Holtz, just some colors. And the Witchfinder, and Freshly Made Witch's Brew, served daily. That is a Sam Poole stamp. And then here are two little vials that she has. This one says poison, and this one says witch hazel for external use only. And the Bohemian Crafter had a video on how to do this with if you have this die cut from Tim Holtz of the bottles. And the witch's hat is a stamp from Lavinia. It's a Lavinia stamp. And here's the second signature. And this is the art teacher. And so she has this fine paints and pigments. And this is a tuck spot. And this is from a vintage book catalog of watercolor, art supplies. And then this tucks in here, and there's the cold paint, and this is a recipe for one of the paints, yellow, I think it's for this color paint. This came from the Graphics Fairy. And then the painter's favorite, this is Cottage Paints, and this is also from the Graphics Fairy, and it just shows the different paints. And she teaches the art classes. This tuck spot here. There's another one of the collages that I did. And this is from Wendy's journal. Wednesday's journal, excuse me. That's another kit that is from Miles Beyond the Moon. And the Bat Seminary. And then this is another Rackham illustration, and this is a Tim Holtz piece of ephemera of an old home that the architecture students were studying. Ghosts everywhere. And then this is just a little tuck spot that I made. And she's a witch, poisons and anecdotes. And this is, I've forgotten which one this is. Henbane, or one of the poisonous plants. Here's another illustration of the castle. Vintage dictionary page. I thought that was appropriate with the spine on it, because you're dealing with bones. Another one of the die cuts. This is one of the illustrations that came with the kit. The little girls with their masks. And this is from the another kit. And then this ghost party, I thought made a really good tuck spot. And then these are some things that I made from this summer with Tracy Fox. Excuse me. Need to get a sip of water. With her Creep on June 2024. And this was one of the cards. So these are some of the ghosts that are going to the ghost party. And then this was part of the kit. There's a little flip there with a card in there. And our second centerpiece, using the Tim Holtz people. There's another illustration of a bat. And then this is an idea I got from Wendy's Journal Adventure. I'm going to take it all apart, but this is using the Tim Holtz wallpaper. And here's a little tag that I made. And this has writing space here. There's journaling space on the back of it. It flips over. There's journaling space on the back here and here. And then this is another little, she's walking her bats. I thought that was very cute. I love Tim Holtz's little people. And again, and then this is from that Creep On, also from Tracy Fox, but I thought that looked like one of the students' rooms in the castle, also from Tracy. And this is the Treasure Casket of Mysteries. They found this in the basement of, or one of the basement rooms in the castle. And a Ouija board. If you're going to contact spirits, you've got to have a Ouija board. And all of those have journaling space on the back. And then here's another belly band with some more bat illustrations from the Graphics Fairy. It's a wonderful site for all kinds of things that you need for a journal. And another illustration that came with the kit. And this is where we're getting into the occult, where they're studying the stars. And of course, more bats. I love bats, so had to use all those. Vintage music paper that's been tea-dyed. Another one of the collages that I made with the people. And then this is the third signature. And this is where they're getting into studying the stars and astrology. Little tuck spot here, some spiders, and these two little girls have their spider that they're walking. Again, Tim Holtz people. And here's a picture of the castle in its entirety. And this was part of the one of the photographs that came with the kit, and it's the library. And this is tea-dyed braille paper here. And another one of the illustrators, there's a little crow down here. And this is another collage. And they're also studying architecture. So this is one of the illustrations and some stamps that I had. And then this is another Tim Holtz person. And I loved this. This came with the kit, and it says Bronte and Company, makers of fictitious men. And I thought he's definitely a fictitious man. So there's our little Tuck with the Owl illustrations. And another page from the book about owls. And again, some more of the architectural illustrations. There's the architect. And if you're studying architecture, you've got to have math. So this is a vintage flashcard, math flashcard. And this is a little stamp that I had used and made a tag. And the number 13, and there's the rook card. So you've got to have rooks in a journal with Halloween. And then this is my favorite page. This is a vintage page from a math book. And these are those wonderful, I can't think, the problem solving that were the use of fractions. And it's like a barrel of flour weighs 168 pounds, cost a grocer $12.50, blah, blah. And just reading these brings me back to the math that I took when I was in school. And that was before most of you all were born, I'm sure. This is a page from a old music roll, piano roll. And I've backed it with just plain brown paper. And then this is an illustration of a library in Scotland. And there's the librarian. And she is, this is a big page for journaling. This little card I made out of a catalog card. And the name of the book was Handbook of Unusual Natural Phenomenon. And I thought that was just perfect for this little guy. And then this is a large journaling card tag with the Hans Christian Andersen 1909. And then this is a tea-dyed page from The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. And those just fit in there. And this is, again, from the Graphics Fairy. And some illustrations that just pin in here of different astronomical, science and so I think is the solar system, or how the moon goes around the sun and how that works out. There's a bunch of those in here. In our next centerpiece, here's our little girl who's flying, and this is her crystal ball. As you can see the heavens. This is one of the rooms in the castle. And again, this is the solar system. And this is one of the illustrations. That's a French illustration of some of the constellations. And those just tuck in there, and there's lots of journaling space on those. And then these little girls come out, and there's journaling space on the back. You can see the little crow on top of the cage. It just tucks in there. Again, journaling space and some more of that math book. And then this is a little, you have to have cats, as I said, black kitties. And this is our architect instructor. And here's some illustrations of the things that they're looking at. And he's teaching them how to do all this. So I said it's a really, in a journaling card that I made. The illustrations, I think, are, again, Graphics Fairy. Some more architecture. Got to have a dragon. This is a flip-out map of the heavens. Lots of journaling space here, too. And then this is the last of the collages that I did. And then some more little Tim Holtz people on that wrought iron fence. And another one of the instructors. And this is another map of the stars, zodiac stars. Journaling space there. And that's the end of the journal. And there's the Loch Ness Monster. So I just had a great time working on this journal. It was really hard for me to stop. As a matter of fact, I was still gluing things in about 10 minutes ago. The reason I picked this particular fabric for the front was it reminded me of the wrought iron gates. So I hope you enjoyed that. This journal will be available in my Etsy shop when the video goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and you all have a good day.